if you're a builder and you surround yourself with a bunch of builders that don't know how to fix, something goes wrong, you're fucked. Or if you're a fixer and you surround yourself, your team is a bunch of fixers, nothing will ever get built. It's an entirely different mindset for each one. So when you're in a group or team dynamic, and any success takes a team, you have to figure out the qualities of each person you're interacting with. And building, because building, you're starting at ground zero, trying to build up. Fixing, you're at ground zero, but now you got to understand you got to go down to get back to ground zero. Entirely different mentalities, entirely different personas, entirely different trains of thought to be a builder versus a fixer. In certain scenarios, you have to understand in any dynamic, what are you? Do you build shit or do you fix shit? Because in all of these instances where people are just willy-nilly getting into deals, being non-strategic, just focused on just do, that's where they got into these legal issues. Like, had they just done one or two things differently or drafted the contract one or two things differently, all of this could have been avoided. And see, that takes the builder's mentality. You can't just go, right? You have to go strategically. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the N2N podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. N2N, also known as Ninja or the Prolific Ninja by my family and friends and on socials. And because my fans, my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the N2N podcast, the alpha to the omega, the beginning to the end, time of life, motivation, drive, success, self-improvement, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Back in this hot Houston weather in the studio again. We missed a week again last week because we were going back and forth from Austin and Houston, but we caught up with the repost, and now we're going to try to shoot 2 episodes for you this week to catch up. But in any case, glad to be back. It has been, a whirlwind of events ever since we started tapping into the Austin market for our tech companies. But before we get into the crux of the show, as usual, I like to start every show as I start my day. If you're new to the show or if you've been listening a while, just to reiterate, I'm a physician, lawyer, business guy. Have a law firm that has been in Houston for over now 2 decades, helping thousands of clients recover millions of dollars in settlements. That has afforded me an opportunity to pursue other entrepreneurial interests in health tech, 2 companies in blockchain, other tech type companies. Now we're moving into some AI opportunities. So now we're moving into some AI stuff ever since we've tapped in again to the Austin market. So, but needless to say, I start my every day as I start this podcast, or I start this podcast as I start every day. And when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is spiritually give thanks to God and the universe for another day to be great, another day to hopefully inspire one person. Just one person is all it takes for me to live to their fullest controllable potential. And with that, I want to thank you all, my audience, for growing this podcast and all this free content massively. So with that, I want to thank you all for sharing this show. And if you're new to the show, I do this on my own dime, on my own time. I cut the checks, hire this production team, get this content out to you in short and long form. And so with that, I do this on a karmic energy exchange. I'm all about energy, vibration, and frequency. So we do this on exchange. And what I do is I'm giving this energy to you. And so if you learn something from this episode or any other episode, please do share the show. That's how you rebalance this energy exchange between you and I. And what I like to say is if your knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. And please do share the show. That is indeed how we grow to now hundreds of thousands of followers across all platforms, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views across all platforms or listens as well. So thank you all for sharing the show, sharing all the shows, and growing the audience. So today, in the last week, it's kind of been weird. We spent much of that time in Austin on a specific social event. Through my connections there, I got looped into a men's walking group. So it's a walking group that meets 8 a.m. at the Lamar Bridge. Invite only, but the group is like now in several hundred of guys. Whoever can show up shows up at 8 a.m. We do about a 5-mile walk, talk, catch up on life, and here we go. Well, Thursday night was the first social event for that, right? And then on Saturday, come back to Houston. We're at it was a cars and copter event. So if you're new to the show, I'm a car guy. I got several cars. Check out my personal IG and all my IGs, and you'll see how I am a car guy. Cars and copters, Great event put on by one of the local guys. Over 100 cars, probably $20 to $30 million worth of cars, cruising through the back roads around the Houston area, followed by copters. That's neither here nor there, other than to say during the course of those events, I kept getting calls. Hey, man. And these are from close acquaintances of mine. Man, I ran into this problem. This business partner is, is going sideways. We're about to sue each other, all these things. Another guy calls me. Hey, man, giving me this whole diatribe of all these things that happen, and now they're potentially can end up in litigation. Another friend calls me, same situation. And it got me a little bit off balance. And although these are my friends and I love to help them and I'm going to help them from a legal standpoint, it got me off balance, and I had to meditate and digest on why these episodes of friends calling me up, going through hours worth of conversation on he did this, they did this, I did this, they did this, and now we're all in a mess. Why it really threw me off balance, or why did it really not bother me but frustrate me a little bit. And it came down to understanding that among the many qualities of different people, there's a subset of qualities where everybody you meet, or even yourself, you're either a builder or a fixer, or a little bit of both. Okay, you're either a builder and a fixer, or a little bit of both. You could be a hybrid. Just like if you're a tech guy, there's the front-end developer, the back-end developer, and then the full-stack developer. Same kind of thing. You are a builder or a fixer. Okay, because it takes two different types of mentality shifts to be either one, right? I am in go build mode right now. Okay. Now, can I fix shit when things go wrong for myself? Absolutely. When things go wrong for others? Absolutely. But it takes away from the build mentality, because building, you're problem solving. You're thinking about the next thing. You're trying to say, okay, well, if I put this here, that's going to happen. If this happens here, that's going to happen. Where do I need to put the best foundation if I want to build vertical? Where do I want to put the best foundation if I want to build horizontal? Both in a literal and a figurative sense, in business and like if you're actually building like a house. That is a different mentality of, damn, things have already been building, but something went wrong, and now I got to fix it. I got to unravel shit in order to fix it. I got to rebuild facts. I got to understand the fact pattern. I got to understand, okay, it went sideways here, and then that, created a web of disasters downstream where now we got to fix all of those things. But even if we fix it, we're back to what? Ground zero. We didn't make any progress. So that's a total different type of mentality than building, because building, you're starting at ground zero, trying to build up. Fixing, you're at ground zero, but now you got to understand you got to go down to get back to ground zero. Entirely different mentalities, entirely different personas, entirely different trains of thought to be a builder versus a fixer. So in certain scenarios, you have to understand in any dynamic, what are you? Do you build shit or do you fix shit? Right? In the car world, you have those guys that build cars. And then you have the mechanics, much more mechanics fixing shit than building shit. Different industry, right? The legal industry, you can go out and pursue cases, or you're helping people fix their problems. Criminal law, family law, divorce court, all that shit. Or you're intellectual property guy, writing patents, creating shit. Right? So in any particular industry, you have to figure out where you slot, what you are about. Are you a builder or a fixer? I know people that are great at one or the other. I know people that really are really good at building shit. Building really good stuff. And when things go wrong, they just kind of, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then I know several people that are really good at fixing stuff. Call me when things go wrong. But if you ask them to go proactively build something, can't do it. And then again, I know people that are both. They can build. They have, it could be 80% build, 20% fix, or 20%, 80% fixer and 20% builder, and all in between. But understand what you are. Like, are you a procrastinator? Is it hard to get going, hard to put things together, hard to map out a plan? You might be a fixer instead of a builder. You might not be a builder. Or when things go wrong and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm afraid to take a first step to try to fix things. Then you might be a builder instead of a fixer. So that is you, but then also the people you interact with, okay? You got to help them understand. The people you interact with, you need to understand what they are. Because if you're a builder and you surround yourself with a bunch of builders that don't know how to fix, if something goes wrong, you're fucked. Or if you're a fixer and you surround your team is a bunch of fixers, nothing will ever get built. It's an entirely different mindset for each one. So when you're in a group or team dynamic, and any success takes a team, you have to figure out the qualities of each person you're interacting with. For all the projects that I'm in, I plug in to where I'm like the 70-30 guy. I will build my ass off, but I can fix if I need to, like kind of minor issues. In my law firm, I'll have to do 50-50 because I got to fix stuff and I got to proactively litigate stuff, or my team does, or guide my team to do it. Okay, but when I'm talking about the health tech, blockchain, all these technology-based projects that we're working on, 70% builder, 30% fixer. Now I surround myself with 100% builders and 100% fixers. And so the team overall is balanced, and I give direction through my building. Okay? Just like the podcast last week, there are designers and there are builders. Same idea. Different mentalities, different skill sets, different thought processes. Same thing here. Builder versus a fixer. And so going back to my analogy, my personal experience is that with these people calling me up, man, if you're not a builder, but you're growing a business, you got to seek out the builders. You got to seek out the builders' viewpoints and strategies ahead of time. Because in all of these instances where people are just willy-nilly getting into deals, being non-strategic, just focused on just do, without strategically thinking how to build, that's where they got into these legal issues. Like, had they just done one or two things differently, or drafted the contract one or two things differently, all of this could have been avoided. And see, that takes the builder's mentality. You can't just go, right? You have to go strategically. And the strategic part is the idea and the mindset of the builder. Hey, listen, I want to go, and I want to build, but what if things go wrong, and do I have protection against that risk? That's the real builder's mentality. It's not just go full speed, all gas, no brakes, and just do whatever, and yeah, because things change, especially in human dynamics. When you got clients or you got business partners or this, that, and the other, things can go sideways real quick. If expectations aren't laid out, if strategy isn't played out, if plans aren't laid out, if roles and responsibilities aren't laid out, things go sideways. And if you're not a solid builder, having done things like this before, you're not going to think about the strategic things. And when you don't do that and things go sideways, that's where you really get fucked. And you call a guy like me, like, go, bro, I'm about to get sued, and all these, and rebuilding all the details that led up to this. You can't just throw it out there. It's strategic building. And so if you're just one of those people that want to get entrepreneurial and want to get into business and do all these things, yes, action, important. Go do it, absolutely. But be strategic about it. And if you don't have the experience, go seek out mentors because they've built it before. They're builders. Okay? Now, if you anticipate things are going to go wrong, or where things go wrong, and you're not equipped to handle the things that are going to go wrong, and inevitably things will go wrong, you got to have a fixer. You got to have a fixer. Somebody that will take care of the stuff that you're unwilling to do or don't know how to do when things go wrong. In my law firm, my partner and I, we have that kind of dynamic. Sometimes I fix his stuff. Sometimes he fixes my stuff. We're a great blend of like 70, 30, 60, 40 guys, builder, fixer. And that's why it works. That's why we've been around for 23 years. Right? That's what you got to have in your team dynamic if you're wanting to build, if you're wanting to grow a business. Can't just go. Got to be strategic building. Find out builders if you don't have those skill sets. Somebody that's done it before. Find out fixers or have them on speed dial or something like that. You like, my friends know I'm a fixer, so they had me on speed. Hey, man, but do I like to do it? I'll do it. It's not my passion. My passion is building, positivity, positive progress. But I'll do it because sometimes it's necessary and you got to do what you got to do. However, the crux of this subject matter is know who you are. Are you a builder or are you a fixer? Or are you a little bit of both? And if so, what percentages of both? Whenever you're dealing with other people in a dynamic, team dynamic, understand what they are. You might ask them straight up, hey man, you like to build stuff or do you like to fix stuff? Certain engineers like to build stuff. Certain engineers like to tinker and fix stuff. There's no right or wrong or better or worse. It's understanding who they are so that you put the right people in place amongst the other variables of personality types and things like that. But builder versus fixer is a key aspect of success, team building, and understanding who you are on your path to success. So which are you, a builder or a fixer? Glad to be back in the studio. Glad to be catching up to the episodes. We've gone now almost 3.5 years without missing a week. We've missed 2, but we've caught up 2. So it's just getting busier and busier. We're doing a lot more traveling. Our company, CuraConnector.com, which is a web-based marketplace for home health. We're gigifying the home health space, growing into Austin. Now got called to potentially grow out Dallas. We're in Houston. Check it out, CuraConnector.com, LegacyXToken.com, PureWallet.ai, WestLoopLaw.com, PFASInjuryAttorney.com, and there's going to be some more .coms coming through as we finish out the summer and the projects that we're working on, and we're excited to talk to you about it. But go visit those websites. That's another way you can restore your karma, the karmic energy from this free energy exchange that we're giving. If not, please do share the show. So I close my episodes as I close my day. When I lay down, put my head hits the pillow. Before I close my eyes, I thank God and the universe again for another day to have been great, hopefully, and another day to hopefully have inspired just one person to live to their fullest controllable potential. Hopefully that's you today. And if you learned something from the show, if your knowledge swole, share the show. That is how you and I, that's how we grow. So with that, I want to thank you for listening. Looking forward to bringing you another episode very, very soon. Be great today, but be even more grateful. And I'll talk to you later this week, but definitely also next week.